G'day everyone, Jason Nunn, Fisherman's Warehouse, Tackle Marcus Point, with a very windy Friday fishing report just down here at Pelican at the moment, and surprisingly enough, a little bit of sunshine. Some very strong winds overnight, guys, up to about 40 knots. It's going to abate as the day goes on, and tomorrow doesn't look too bad, although I think we'll have the remnants of the swell offshore, so certainly a rock fishing warning for any anglers that are thinking going to the rocks. Probably tomorrow, definitely not the day. Into Sunday, we're going to start to see that swell moderate away, and surprisingly enough, the temperature is going to jump up to around about 27 degrees on Sunday and up to about 30 on Monday. So we are going to get some warmer weather as we move through. Full moon, of course, Sunday night. We've got some big tides this weekend, 8:30 tomorrow. About 1.85 metres high tide in the channel here, and around about 2:45 to 3 low tide. So with some really nice tides. Again, this weekend, we're the overnighter, the Northern Zone overnighter for the game fisherman was on. Definitely not going to get there. Maybe some of the anglers will get out on Sunday, and I don't know whether you're actually going to get there tomorrow afternoon, guys. If this swell just needs to moderate, it is gusting quite a lot at the present moment. The inshore fishery starting, there's still some nice kingies down on that area, down around the Texas, and certainly down towards Terrigal, and some snapper up on the farm, but we're still seeing some really nice snapper on these inshore reefs. So Slender Boy's got a couple of really nice fish a couple of days ago, but right away along our part of the coastline at the present moment, just some real good snapper on the inshore reefs. Not a lot of pelagic activity, I might add, but there's a few salmon, and there's obviously a few salmon on that Belmont Blacksmith stretch, a real variant in size too, guys. Some big salmon and a lot of small ones, but there are still some patchy tailor mixed in with them. The good news, I suppose, is that we're now starting to see whiting in the channel, and we're starting to see a few up on Blacksmith's Beach in that corner, but particularly in the channel itself off the breakwater. And this is what we're going to see now. Obviously, we've got that full moon on Sunday night rolling through, but around about, remember, it's that 7 to 10 days, and particularly 10 nights after the full moon, we're going to see that November prawn run, which is critical. Had an opportunity this week to have a bit of a fish. My good mate Lucas Stansfield. We parked over the back over here amongst the islands there, got some really nice whiting. A couple of the whiting that I got, sort of that 42 to 43 centimetres, which I released, very, very lean. So big heads on these whiting at the present moment, but some of these bigger fish not holding condition, and I think that will improve dramatically once that prawn run comes through. The couple of fish that we did get, I think we ended up with half a dozen. One of them in particular around about 40, chock-a-block full of roe. So we're already starting to see a lot of these whiting, getting into that breeding pattern. I've got a funny feeling those fish that have lost a bit of condition are exactly that. They have probably already spawned, but it's good to see some real, cracking whiting on the flats. Chew worms in particular, guys, are working very, very well. We'll have a delivery a little bit later this afternoon, which should give us in good stead for the weekend. There were a few brim. We did catch a few brim, but the brim were probably those schooly size, around about that 28 to 32 centimetres. No real size to them. We'll just basically release them. One thing's for sure, though, over the back over here, and particularly on directly behind me here, those salmon on that Air Force channel were pushing up on that high tide there on Tuesday afternoon, and they were working in all of the edges. They basically come all the way up to more or less where the Marine Rescue Base here, but they were physically out in the middle, and they were all the way through. There was just so many salmon busting through up on the surface. So I think soft plastics, even if you're into fly fishing for them, on that run-in tide, and I reckon on Saturday morning in particular, they'll be very, very thick. So a lot of salmon in the estuary. Still a few kings down at the bridge, and of course there's still quite a few luderick on the seaward side of the bridge, all the way along the rock wall there, up to, of course, including Lucy's breakwater. Been a few trevally and certainly a few brim getting caught in Salts Bay, and of an evening there's been some really nice tailor still getting caught. Doesn't seem to be as many salmon up there, guys, so it's not a problem. The salmon are more located back down here. Now, of course, this week we've seen an unusual catch, and probably not unusual, but Richard Wooten that comes into the store, an 82 centimetre dolphinfish, a mahi-mahi, caught in the lake only 2 days ago on a live garfish, I might add. Now, Richard had seen this fish moving around in the days previous, and it was chasing a lot of bait and flying up a lot of garfish. Obviously, this dolphinfish in particular has been in the lake all winter, and we do see them in the lake. Obviously, more March, April, possibly into May sometimes. We see a few that they come in, move in sometimes with your bonito, follow the tailor in and work the bait. But it just goes to show you how good the Lake Macquarie fishery is at the moment. And obviously, I posted up on our Facebook page there a photograph of the actual fish itself, but very, very golden. It was a female, but 82 centimetres. What a cracking fish. That's the most meritorious fish that I've heard of this week, that is for sure. Some nice mullowee in the lake as well, guys. And the squid, look, I think there'll be more squid on the back of this prawn run because we just need that little bit of oomph to sort of get behind it. And those squid will basically be on that seaward side of the bridge, and no doubt there'll be a few up Mark's Point. Even though it looks a bit blustery today, guys, and that's why we've got down here early, we're in between some of the showers, but there's some really good fishing to be had, and I think tomorrow the winds will back off, the estuary will be where it's physically at for my mind. I know there's a few competitions going on this weekend. I know Pelican RSL's got an interclub happening with Swansea RSL, and obviously down at Redhead Bowling Club, so there's a bit of a fishing competition running there. And the weigh-in, I basically believe, will be down here at Pelican, of course, on Sunday lunchtime. But there's plenty in it for everybody. I think Sunday's the pick. So just all in all, come on in. Now, of course, this week we've had a lot of stock turn up, guys. We had some new Shimano product that will be revealed tomorrow. There's obviously a new reel that's come into the situation, which we'll post up tomorrow morning. But we've obviously seen a few more vibes come in, and the Nomad vibes, certainly the squid treks. There's some very small squid treks that have just turned up and put on the shelf. Some of these little guys down are in about 65 mil. A perfect vibing size. I think it's going to create a lot of interest, particularly in our lake, because obviously we know how successful certainly the Samaki vibes and the Xerics, certainly Transams in the lake. I think these little squid lookalikes and Nomad guys have done a great effort, and these squid treks look pretty fancy. Guys, before I get blown off and end up in the channel, I'm going to go, and I'm going to see you hopefully next Friday when the wind will abate and there'll be no rain. I'll see you then.